Plato once said, "The measure of a man is what he does with power." Rankings. This is Locked On Big 12.
You are Locked On Big 12, your daily podcast on the Big 12 Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to Locked On Big 12. I'm Drake Toll from America's #1 Big 12 podcast, Locked On Big 12. Thank you for making this show your first listen every single day. That's Cameron Stewart of Locked On Baylor, who has nothing to do with even the topics that happened today. He's just nominally funny and helps break down the power rankings almost every week. You made them listen to JT Westershell do it last week. So.
Yeah, it's brutal. I hate to do that, but sometimes you gotta. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, kind of.
Yep, no doubt. We will start there with
the next 2 weeks
with the power rankings, followed by the AP poll being terrible. I think Utah should be ranked. I think BYU should be a top 10 team. I am still riding the high of my weekend, not a real high, obviously. That would be an awesome.
I mean, altitude sickness.
Riding the fake high of my BYU weekend with his hat, Lodge 33. It was like, "You want a hat?" Yes, it's the sickest hat of all time. The corduroy going on here. Thanks to Lodge 33.
That's a nice ball hat.
Yeah. So we'll do the AP poll just being bad. What's wrong with America? And then at the end, I want to go a little emotional again today. So some medical stuff. You know my brother Landon. I think some people in America do.
Fan.
Good dude. He's going through a lot, and we as a family need some help and just need help with a connection or prayer or something. I think somebody out there should be able to hopefully have anything. I'll take it. And if you hit subscribe, we get to keep our jobs. We're going to jump right into this thing with the power rankings. #1 BYU. Any qualms so far, huh?
Think it's fair. How many games they lost?
That would be 0. They are still in the AP poll behind 8 teams that have lost a game.
Tough to argue with that, though.
If I was the AP poll, I would have BYU at 8th in the Big 12 right now. Somewhere.
Sure. Just go in on it, man.
Behind Iowa State and Colorado. I don't know where BYU would be if you're an AP poll voter, but I think they're one. I have a clip that I pulled from Fox. This is from Fox's social media team. Bachmeier this weekend. This is just to emphasize how loud it was in that stadium. You get 3 big pops. It's 3rd and 11. Bachmeier is about to be sacked, but instead of being sacked, he runs for 17 yards and a touchdown, but he's tackled multiple times, gets the first down, gets the touchdown. This is what it sounded like in the stadium.
Damn.
I don't know, 3 distinct. Wow. That is next level. You've been
next to McLean Stadium, man. That is the best atmosphere in the Big 12.
That one time at McLean, that one Oklahoma game, I'll give it to you. 2019. Incredible stuff. From BYU, again, courtesy to Fox for that video. They're at 1. 2, Texas Tech still. I firmly believe they can position themselves at 14 into the college football playoff still if they're able to win the rest of the season. Cincinnati at 3, Houston at 4. I'm going to go Utah at 5, still above Arizona State, who I have at 6. Is that bad to have Utah above Arizona State still?
It's controversial. It's controversial. Arizona State, man, They just beat Tech. No one else could do that. No one's really come close to that. Including Utah?
Did you see when they played Utah?
Yeah.
That's the hard thing.
No Sam Leavitt.
True. And Utah's Devin Dampier was hurt in that game, by the way. I think every week he's hurt at this point. Well, I'm still going to lean because of how Utah dominated Arizona State's defense, and Sam Leavitt doesn't play on the defense, which it has an effect, obviously, when your quarterback's out and your offense can't stay on the field. I'm going to go Utah at 5 and Arizona State at 6. TCU.
Arizona State's better wins. That's where I'm going to leave it. I think Arizona State's better wins. But I get it. They did lose to Utah. And coming off of Baylor TCU week, especially with this discourse coming up from 2014, it's tough for me to deny a head-to-head. So
the Houston Cougars at 4. Have we all bought in? I had them pretty high on my preseason list. I've been I've been buying. I think their defense is still legit. I don't think Arizona's a bad team. They're just kind of stuck in a conference that's super deep. I believe Houston is a team we'll look up toward the end of the season and say, okay, they're still there in contention because they rely on defense. And they also, it doesn't matter if there's 8 fans in their stadium, they're still going to win at home. They just kind of do that.
Are they better than TCU?
Yeah, much better defense.
Yeah, I kind of think so too. Like obviously edge TCU offensively, but Houston is more than capable offensively, and that defense is just so stout. And like that's what I come down to. And it probably breaks that way for, some of the other teams around them too. Arizona State, I think the same thing. It breaks down well. Arizona State has a better win than almost anybody in the conference, beating Tech now. But Houston, man. We let them get Willie Fritz. Like we let Willie Fritz get hot here. We let this 65-year-old man cook in our conference. It's on us.
And he's cooking as we speak. I've got
right now, man.
7 TCU, 8 Iowa State. Iowa State off the bye week. I actually brought them up like 3 positions because now they're healthy. That's all I was asking for them to not have 6 defensive backs out.
Okay, so now we're going personnel. Personnel could change things in the power rankings a little bit.
A little bit. A bye week can help you. Also, because I started looking at the end of this list, I was like, Iowa State's not 11th in the Big 12. They're a 2-loss team. They're fine. From there, Arizona at 9. Is Baylor too high at 10?
No, although the vibes are not high. I think Arizona and Baylor are the same team.
Wow.
Different ways of going about it. But in terms of like your confidence level for the rest of the season and week to week, I think they're the same team. I don't think like both of their, big wins have significant holes in them. And you're just like, I think 7 games into the season, both fan bases are asking like, are we actually good though? Like, are we good? We're not like terrible, but we're not good. We're not fun. So I think they're largely the same team.
Yeah. That's not a good spot to be in.
No, it's not. Arizona fans can, I'm sure, agree with me there.
Knowing there's just a very good chance you're going to lose when the thing's said and done.
Yeah. Like I don't bet Baylor at all anymore because I'm afraid of losing money.
Yeah. Colorado 11. Here's where things get kind of bowl game, maybe bowl. I think Kansas should go to a bowl. I believe Baylor should. Colorado question mark. They had that Iowa State win coming off a bye. Let's see what they do. Baylor at 10, 11 Colorado, 12 Kansas, 13 Kansas State. That may be a little low. We'll see what they do against Kansas.
Yeah, man, they're trending in the right direction.
The right direction for sure. But with
what TCU did to Baylor this week, that win against TCU, although it was kind of fluky and just that a ton of things went wrong for TCU, but that's a heck of a win. That's 40 points on them and a 2-touchdown win. Mm-hmm. That's not bad, man. In fact, I'd put them ahead of Colorado.
Yeah. So Kansas State's at 13 for me. I think they can flip that a lot if they beat Kansas this week. UCF 14. I still can't move them up. They killed West Virginia, but they're at 15. Oklahoma State's at 16. And there's a pretty big gap between 14 UCF and 15 West Virginia. Any qualms with the bottom of this thing?
No, that checks out. Man.
Those are the teams that probably won't.
We say it every week. I wish West Virginia was better, but they're not.
Yeah,
they're not.
It's hard. 1 BYU. Man. 2 Texas Tech, 3 Cincinnati, 4 Houston, 5 Utah, 6 Arizona State, 7 TCU, 8 Iowa State, 9 Arizona, 10 Baylor, 11 Colorado, 12 Kansas, 13 Kansas State, 14 UCF, 15 West Virginia, 16 Oklahoma State. If you think it's wrong, argue with the wall. Locked on Big 12. Yes.
West Virginia, I just want to remind people, 2 years removed from a 9-win season in which it looked like Neil Brown was their guy. And by people, I mean my Baylor fans. Just want to put that out there.
Neil Brown, future coach of the Baylor Bears.
Well.
Locked on Big 12. Locked on
anything's possible.
Wait a second. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. Before I wax poetic about this terrible AP poll, I'm going to tell you about FanDuel because FanDuel is where I went this week and I said, FanDuel, BYU's plus 180, huh? What if I give you $300? How much money will you give me back? And FanDuel said a whole darn lot. The NFL and college football season are both here. If you put a $5 bet down right now and it hits, you get $300 in bonus bets. That's a lot of dollars in bonus bets. Pick a bet, put down $5, bang. If it hits, unlock $300 in those bets used across the app. Whether you're a casual fan or love the stats, FanDuel makes the game day experience so much better. What are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. FanDuel.com to download the app today and get started. Today's show is also brought to you by my friends at Quo. Quo, formerly Open Phone, makes a difference for business owners. Quo allows you to never miss a call. And here's why it matters. A missed call can be missed money, missed customers. And you need a phone system that keeps you connected 24/7. It's the number one business phone system, streamlines customer communication. They have a built-in AI agent that's a game changer, can answer after-hours calls, capture leads, and keep business moving forward. See why over 90,000 businesses trust Quo, formerly Open Phone. Get started for free. 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/lockedoncollege, QUO.com/lockedoncollege. If you've got existing numbers with another service, we'll just port those over. Quo, no missed calls, no missed customers with Quo. There is like a level of terrorism in this country. There's like a Ted Kaczynski, like a BTK's up there. And
Big 12 guy, by the way.
So, Bundy, Utah Ute.
Yes, a lot of Big 12 flavor in this. Okay,
somewhere on this spectrum, Koresh never went to Baylor, did he?
No,
kind of adjacent though, right? He was in town. Somewhere
into town, yeah.
On this spectrum falls every single AP voter and the terrorism they bring to every week of college football. It's also kind of, I think Reese Davis is also an AP voter. So sorry, Reese, not to throw you and
Reese is a friend.
Ted Kaczynski into the same deal here. But
look, Ted Kaczynski has a clear Big Ten bias. He is a Michigan guy, a Michigan man.
I don't want to glorify people who are, bad, but Kaczynski was like, his whole thing was, I want to be classy about it. He was a very calculated, like that guy, he put on a show and changed the way the U.S. Postal Service operates.
And Netflix is not going to make him sexy at any point, I don't think.
They don't need to. He's a professor, right? And then he was, a weird dude, but genius.
Tough to deny that.
Compared to the Idaho guy, what an idiot, man. Left the sheath at the house. Just sloppy work. Bad work from the Koberger guy. This all boils down to the AP poll, obviously.
Natural.
Help me understand. BYU is a zero-loss team. Zero-loss team. They have 6 schools ahead of them that have losses. That's 6 is a good number right there. Can you help me understand why, for some reason, Utah, 2-loss team, but their 2 losses are to number 11 and number 14, why they are not ranked, but Arizona State is, if you recall, 42-10 final.
Yep. And a loss to what is still not a very good Mississippi State team.
Yep. Texas Tech, 1 loss to a team in Arizona State that won the Big 12 last year, has Sam Leavitt, Jordan Tyson, preseason top 15. They have their loss without Leavitt is, as we've talked about, possibly fluky. I mean, you lose a really good quarterback. We've seen how teams struggle without their starting quarterback. Tech is behind. 2-loss Notre Dame.
Yep.
Because they lost a road game to number 24 Arizona State. It almost makes me think, if BYU was a 2 or 3 loss team, would they be number 5? Could we move them to number 6 possibly in this ranking? Where is Houston? Has anyone forgotten how? And I'm sorry, this is kind of mean to Houston. How small of a brand do you have to be a 1-loss Power 4 team and not be in the top 25? That's just a sad existence to be in. I have qualms that they aren't in this, that Utah's not in this. Cincinnati at 21 is low. Their only losses to Nebraska in Arrowhead that was a home game for the Huskers at the beginning of the year. It's the first game of the season, too. So you're like, okay, we haven't figured anything out yet. And they're a really good football team. LSU has multiple losses. Why is USF at 18? What's happening in the world?
There, man. I don't get it. I don't. If you're going to have them at 18 and BYU is sitting behind 6, it's not adding up to me. I'm sorry. And Arizona State, like you said, good enough to get back in the rankings after being in the ranking. This is a very difficult thing in 2025 for a Big 12 team to start the year in the top 15. Lose that spot in September and then get back into the top 25 as a Big 12 team with this AP poll. That's a very difficult thing to do. And yet this Tech team that's only loss came to Arizona State, that said Arizona State, drops precipitously from 1 week to the next. Like it just, I'm not getting it. And again, I think BYU should be in the top 10 if we're being honest, but like 11 is almost whatever for the sake of this argument. Like their big win is against Utah. So if they're good enough in the AP polls eyes to be all the way up to 11, even though they should probably be higher because of a win over Utah, then where is Utah?
Yeah.
Like, if we're going to put so much weight into that, then where is Utah, who just beat another team in your top 25 last week? Killed them, crushed them.
Yeah, Utah does rank at number 27, which is good. USC's at 26. So Utah's at 27. Then Tulane 28, Houston 29. Houston 29 is crazy to me, by the way.
So not quite Tulane, not quite Willie Fritz's old team, apparently.
Yes.
Can I give you like the ultimate transitive property BYU here?
Yeah, why not?
Because I want to look at this top 5. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So BYU has one big win this year, I would say, like from AP standpoint, and that's beating Utah.
Sure.
But they also beat Stanford. Remember that?
I do, yes.
Stanford just beat Florida State.
Uh-oh.
And you know who Florida State beat week 1 of the season?
Uh-oh.
I'm seeing them at number 4 in the country. Transitive property tells me BYU is better than Alabama.
Hold on. Yeah, Alabama has one of the worst losses you can conjure up right now.
I mean, yeah, bro. That would be like Texas Tech losing to Oklahoma State tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like that's bad. Or it would be like Alabama losing to Stanford, who just beat the team that beat Alabama by 2 touchdowns.
100%. And then we were like, well, I don't know.
It would be like Penn State losing to UCLA. Unfathomable. Or Northwestern. Or someone really awful like that they would never lose to.
And then Penn State fires the coach and he goes to Baylor.
Look, it's happening. Yeah.
So I'll leave this conversation. Here's the good news. If you are the Big 12, BYU is still in that playoff territory. Texas Tech is in the playoff territory. I think over the course of the last, 5 games of the season, Cincinnati can creep up into that conversation if they stay one loss.
Yep.
There is a world. Listen to this. Everybody ready for this?
Oh gosh.
Where Arizona State goes to the Big 12 championship against Cincinnati.
Whew.
And you ready for this? Both of them 1 losses, 11-1 versus 11-1. And I guess Arizona State, we 10-2, 11-1. Arizona State wins. They go to the playoff. And you're wondering, well, where did BYU go in that scenario? Oh, buckle up, buddy. BYU, 11-1, their 1 loss, Texas Tech. Texas Tech, 11-1, their 1 loss, Arizona State. So Arizona State mathematically gets themselves into the Big 12 title at 10-2. Cincinnati's 11-1. Arizona State wins that game. We now have 11-2 Cincinnati. Lock of the playoff, Arizona State. 11-1 BYU, 11-1 Texas Tech. And I'm talking 4 teams from the Big 12 in the college football playoff, baby.
Wow.
Yep. Not to mention, didn't even talk about Houston. 1 loss Houston, who's behind Tulane in this poll somehow.
That's so real. That is so real. That's a very real possibility for Big 12 teams in the college football playoff.
And
they might even call that real.
It's not going to happen, obviously.
You're right. Because if they do that, they would put Houston in as well. So it's going to be
This is sarcasm. We're going to wake up in 5 weeks. BYU is going to be 7-5. Still number 1 in the Big 12. it's going to be how the league works, man. Like, no.
Baylor's back. Baylor's 9-3.
Yeah. BYU is going to find a way somehow. I think, let me make sure that I'm correct on this. They're going to find a way at the end. They are. They end the year with UCF. Recipe for disaster.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Disaster. Coming up, thoughts and prayers, but literally could use your help. Locked on Big 12, Locked on Baylor. Today's show is brought to you by Monarch. Monarch's exactly where I go because I am 24 and I don't know what to do with the money that I have. And it's not a lot of money, but the money that I do have, I don't know what to do with it. Between 401ks, whatever that means, savings and investments, it's easy to lose track. And that can mean leaving money on the table. That's why I use Monarch. All-in-one personal finance tool brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or Foam helps me organize my accounts, track my spending, get a better handle on my investments without having to touch a spreadsheet. Love that I can review everything with my partner, see our shared goals, and make better financial decisions. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use my code LOCKEDONCollege at monarch.com for 50% off your first year. Monarch.com, code LOCKEDONCollege for half off your first year at Monarch today. All right, this one is personal. And look, this is not like Locked On sanctioned or anything, but dude, the whole family from BYU to Baylor to TCU to Cincinnati, like we need help. Landon, my brother, dude is just
Big
salt
fan.
of the earth. 20 years old, and a couple of years ago contracted, he got strep throat or the flu or some sort of infection, and it triggered this word called PANS. Pans and pandas. This is wild. Let me give you a little lesson here. So our family is asking for, whether it's prayers, help, a neurologist, something to figure out what those letters mean. Like my dad, it's one of the saddest things possible. I'll show you, Landon, if you're watching on the YouTube. Dude loves to fish. Great guy. Look at that guy's smile.
That's
man.
awesome.
Dude's rock. So we've been battling this for 3 or 4 years now, and it's crushing my parents. And I know it is. My dad sent a message at midnight, and he's got his old college buddies group chat that I snuck into somehow. And he's like, guys, like we're out of options, and if it gets worse, this is a neurological disease. So if it gets worse, we kind of lose Landon forever. And I mean, for me, seeing that text, like, dang, like that it makes it real. They've been in the hospital the last 3 weeks. They've been in the hospital off and on for 3 years with a neurological disease. He was diagnosed with autism at a young age, so he's always dealt with that. Always been a little bit outside of the typical crowd, but beloved by all. And then with this PANS, so it stands for Pediatric Acute Onset Neuropsychiatric Syndrome. And effectively what it is, according to the Google and my mother, who's trying to explain all this to me in briefly, is linked to a strep infection or any infection, and like a flu or a COVID. And when he contracts these, which usually all of us do once a year, you get the flu or COVID or something. When he contracts it, it goes immediately to his brain. And instead of the white blood cells attacking the disease, they attack his brain, immediately inflames. And from there, it creates this like psychosis, this out of body thing. And so I've been in the room, whether it's like anxiety, tics, behavioral changes, those are all listed there. But like he'll go from being like the happy guy that you've met and been around to looking kind of through you, and he'll go, "Where's my brother?" Like, "Oh, dude, that's me. Like, I'm right here. We're good to go." And you just can't. Like you can't get them back, right? Yeah. So it's this endless rounds of treatment, IVIG or plasma transfers, all kinds of really invasive stuff, steroids that he's fought with for 3 years, and that comes with lack of sleep and weight gain and just this. It ruins your body, but it's everything that we've tried to do to ensure that this 20-year-old. Who formerly was this, he had autism, but happiest guy in the world, played he was so good at Special Olympics baseball, they made him stop to play with the big boys. And he was the most feared pitcher in the world. And so to see that guy go into a state where now for my parents, they've of the last year, they've spent just a few days with the real Landon. And the rest of that has been fighting this really aggressive neurological disease. The doctors in Arkansas have I'm just show you the picture again. He's a good dude, right? Loves to fish. It's his favorite thing in the world is to fish. Doctors in Arkansas have lost answers. Now, and that's kind people, but it's not saying a lot, right? There's other places we could go. Mm-hmm. But we've been told, our family's been told that the Mayo Clinic doesn't recognize PANS or pandas really as a thing. So there are certain neurological doctors, neurologists, I think that's the word they use for those, who just say, hey, we're not even going to open this book because we don't believe it's a thing. And they're like, okay, well, what is the issue? And they don't have an answer. So in essence, for us, it's like, hey, I don't want to use my platform for something that is, sob story negative or attention. But I do we need help. There comes a time where it's just, okay, we need help. This is the avenue that I'd love to use because we're out of options. We're out of answers. My family called. They're like, hey, whoever anybody can they help us? So whether you're a neurologist yourself or know somebody or have been through this, it's funny. I know I'm kind of monologuing a bit here. But Lila plays, my sister plays softball for Baylor. and the head coach of Baylor, Glenn Moore, his family went through something similar with a member of their family who went from completely normal, athletic, happy-go-lucky to one day just, would sleepwalk out of the house and down the street and say, like, the demons are here, right? Because it's this new thing and I guess newly diagnosed thing. We know a collegiate softball player who won a national championship, friend of the family, same thing. Like, wakes up as a collegiate athlete one day and just says, it has these incredible demonic thoughts that are all linked back to brain inflammation that come from these viral diseases. So we have met people who've been through this, and we just need help. And so I do believe also, I want to let you know, this podcast is monetized. I make money off this. Every cent from this episode, this segment, this piece will be donated. I don't need any money from this at all. I don't want any money from this at all. I think that'd be a grift that goes far beyond any. I'm just looking for help. A piece of this, like, again, Landon, again, can wax poetic a bit about him. You've always been so good to him. But a piece of this is this is what I think the Big 12 is about. The Big 12 fan bases are about whether you're a Utah fan who hates my tweets or wants me dead, or a Cincinnati fan who's wondering why I don't talk more about Cincinnati. I think this is a moment where the Big 12 fans show why the Big 12 is special.
Yeah, and like you keep saying that I know Landon, and I do, and I love Landon. He's awesome. The Toll family is freaking awesome. But I think what this also should be is, like, any of you listening, like, you guys know Landon. You know the Tolls. Yeah. They're your family down the street. Like, they are the people you went to school with. Like, these are the most, in the best way possible, these are the most regular American people that are extraordinary because they're awesome. And they just need some help, just some direction. And this is why this is good that we're now a 4 time zone conference here in 4 time zone, 3 time zone, something 3 time zone at least conference in the Big 12 of, like, somewhere there is more. There are more resources. There is somewhere, whether that's in Orlando or in Provo or in Cincinnati or Morgantown, somewhere there are more resources that can help your family. And really, the way you guys should be thinking about it is helping this family that these people that we all know a Landon. It's really sick if you know the actual Landon. He's awesome, but and I know this is why it's so frustrating for your family too, is there are answers out there somewhere. We just got to find them. That's what this is, right? You're not asking for money here. Like, you're just asking, and any direction would help, like, seriously. So if you're sitting there thinking, maybe you are in Morgantown, you're like, I don't know a neurologist. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where to go with this. We certainly are the praying type, and my mom and dad, that is the number one thing that keeps them going, is that faith. And so whether you are, the praying type, so this is a good little, I'll dox that they love French bulldogs too, for some reason. It's like it's the worst dog breed in the world. Like, the dogs can't breathe physically. It's tough. Yeah. They can't breathe at all. But they love French bulldogs. And so they've all hung out with him a ton. They plan to go, to any clinic anywhere to find some surgeon, some doctor, somebody that can look at Landon and have answers. And the folks in Arkansas have done a great job, but they've exhausted their what they can do. So from this, prayer number one for those guys. That's what mom and dad were asking from me. It's like, hey, if anybody has information, great. If they don't, awesome. If we had thousands of people just praying, that's just as good for them. And on the other side of that, I personally, this is a me thing. I promise you, this is the truth. I don't read the YouTube comments most of the time. They are a place where things fester. Yeah. My mom does. So every time that somebody's in there and they're like, wow, Drake looks really ugly today, she sees that. She sees all of those. And I can guarantee you, whether it's a show about UCF from 3 months ago or this show, she is reading every single one of the comments because it's what she does with her free time. So that's probably the best way. Like, she's in the comments right now, scrolling through, looking for something and anything, yes. And positive or negative. So if you know anything, I mean, reach out to me, obviously, via direct message if you can. But also the YouTube comments are a great place. Drop an email, drop information, drop something in the YouTube comments where my mom can scroll through there while she's in the hospital sitting next to him and just figure out something or have some sort of hope or a message of hope would be awesome. So thanks for doing this with me. People, they complain sometimes, like, oh,
the Baylor guy with his green colored glasses for the power ranking show every week. But we've done shows together for 4 or 5 years now. And we've had many a beer together as well. Like this.
Had a seltzer, maybe some
natural things from the ground.
Yeah. Some multivitamins.
At some level, it transcends sports in moments like this. And again, you've been great with Landon. So thanks for doing this with me. I know it's a weird spot for you to be in, but this is kind of you.
But dude, if I could do more, or I will try to do more, but like if I could have done more for this segment, I would have.
Isn't your fiance a doctor?
She is a doctor.
Hold the phone, everybody. Everybody stop.
Not that kind of doctor, or else. But I'll see. I'll see, man. I'll see what she can plug away at. We're right down the street from Harvard. I might just stand out there with a sign or something.
You wouldn't be the only one. You wouldn't be alone. Would probably
double-sided sign.
Probably fit right in, actually.
Yeah.
Just get lost in you here protesting.
But on the real, the tolls are awesome. And for those who are still listening, that are still listening that aren't Drake Toll fans, let me just tell you, Drake's the worst one of the bunch. Okay, the rest
so
of them,
valid too.
Top notch. It's like watching New Girl, and you're like, wow, the main character Jess there, she's really annoying, but like everybody else is awesome. That's kind of the Toll family.
I don't know what any of that means, but it's certainly.
See, it's a good show, man. But awesome family, awesome Landon, and they just, I'm feeling for them, man. And you said it. This is an ordeal that you've also kept quiet about for a long time.
Yeah.
This is not like, hey, not that makes it any worse, but like, hey, this thing happened last week. That this has been a long, long struggle for the Toll family, who are like the best people that you know, and it is unfair, but anything will help at this point.
No doubt, 100%. That is Cameron Stewart at Real Cam Stewart on the Twitter app. This has been It Always Will Be. Thank you all for enduring 8 minutes of what wasn't sports, but something that we need help. This has been It Always Will Be. Locked On. Thanks for making our shows your first listen every single day. It's Baylor and Dose Grande.